Now, here is an interesting problem. While I was setting up the subject program for Demo 2, I actually ran into an interesting problem that, so another failure that I was not expecting. So I thought it would be a good example for another types of problems. Okay, so I know that this subject program, I should expect when I run the test cases that there should be one failure or one error. But what happened first, when I first tried to run it, I actually found there are 28 errors and 12 failures. So that's another problem altogether. Before we get into investigating the problem that is part of the subject program that we are supposed to study, there is another problem in the way. That's obviously a setup problem. Okay, so I just wanted to start with I have no idea. I don't know much about the programming logic, and I have no idea what could be the cause of this. So I wanted to get into one of the test suites here to see what is going on. First of all, this is an error. So there is an exception, so that's good because it gives us some clues. So there is a null pointer exception. Okay, so a null pointer exception. Okay, now let me put a breakpoint here and we'll follow that step by step to try to figure out what's going on. So I'm just going to follow the investigation process that we described in the course. So I'll run this as in debug mode. All right. Okay, so it's calling some is assignable in a class util. So let me step inside that. Okay, there is only one function call. So the class null and another class null, there shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so I'm just gonna step inside this to try to figure out what's going on. All right, so required version is sent here 1.5. Oh, so here is the null, this is where the null pointer exception happens. So this is a null reference and it is trying to call a function called at least on something that is null. So why is it null though? Okay, in Eclipse, if I click Control and hover over an identifier, it turns into a link and it can take me to its definition. So I'm just gonna go to the definition and see why is it not set properly? Why is it null? So you can see here that it is set based on a call for a function called get on Java version. So let's see what is the value here. The value 15. Okay, Java 15. That is true. That is the version of Java that I have installed. But what is the problem with that? So I will go into the definition of this function to try to figure out. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it can only handle up to Java 8. Java 15 cannot be handled here, so that's why it's null. All right, so I just realized that I did not set up the environment properly, and I had Java 15 when I actually are supposed to have up to Java 8. Okay, so let me stop that. Now I understand that. Let me just verify that that is the case. So I will go to Window, Preferences, and yeah, so Java, and then install GRE. You can see that the only GRE installed here is Java 15. So yeah, so that is true. That is the root cause of the problem. The environment is not set up properly. I need to install Java 8 and make sure to add it to the install GREs here in Eclipse in order to be able to run the subject program properly, which what I did and you saw in the previous video. All right, so that's it for this demo. Thank you so much for watching.